evening and welcome to another exciting show. Now, tonight I've got two guests. It's Survivalist Dave. And here we go. And we've got Dev. Hey! It should be ladies first, but otherwise you see it'd be me, Deb, and Dave, and it's better if you're sort. Oh, anyway, you know what I mean. Anyway, what I was going to say is I've got an exciting show coming up, and first of all, YouTube have been playing, I believe, allegedly, because I scheduled this for 8 o'clock tonight, and it was changed to 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. So people looking at it saying, "Oh, I'm not going to look at that. It's at 4 o'clock in the morning."
Yeah.
So luckily I saw it about an hour before it's due to start, and I altered it back. And it happened last week as well. So they're playing silly buggers.
Yeah,
so
that's a bit strange.
Can't wait to go over to Trump's social.
Oh, yes.
Starting it apparently today or tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to start.
Right. You said they delayed it, didn't you?
Sorry? Yeah.
You said, yeah.
You said it would be the end of March, but it's a little bit of business technique that is. It's coming in sort of like earlier. Yeah. So I've got my fingers crossed. I just hope. But the people looking at this show tonight, it's going up and down like a tart's straw. But first of all, I've got a couple of call outs to do.
Right.
First of all, if we need some healing thoughts to Lee. Now, what happened to Lee? Hang on, should we do the tinkly music? Here it comes.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's all nice and fluffy and that. Lee is she how can I put this crudely? She slipped arse over it and
right.
my hip. I think I've said that very subtly, haven't I? And she ended up in a place where they like sticking things up your nose and
oh, nice.
Nice. And she's on the mend, she's on crutches now. So, so healing thoughts to Lee, and hope to see you back soon. And another little call out. Now, all of us that I've got to be very careful what I say now, so you because we've got communism, censorship.
All that.
Us that are questioning things. As we are in the UK, we got associates around us that question things. And in America, Australia, Canada, of course, and in Europe, we've got everybody around us. But what we've got to remember is there are Brits working overseas, especially in the Far East, John. And if you'll see his comments, not in YouTube because he was banned from YouTube, but on my Big Shoot channel. Quick plug there. So if you go to the Big Shoot channel, you'll see John on there. I won't mention his surname because obviously I haven't had permission yet. But where he's working in the Far East, it's a very nice part of the world. Your Brinnerland, shall we say? Nice weather, and I think so. He's the only one. Now, there's for other Brits, and they've all had and believe things, and he is the only one there. And all the people around him are very compliant. We forget about people, and he's very brave. We forget about people like that on their own. We've got backup. We've got associates that are saying, "Yeah, that's okay," but he's on his own. So I mentioned him at Stand in the Park. So a bit more acoustic music. And don't worry, mate, we're all with you, all right? So you might be a few thousand miles away, but we're with you, all right? So
we're with you in spirit.
Not on your own. We're here, sort of in mind and spirit. Yes, here we go. Oh, hello. The viewing figures have just come up again because as I say, they're going up and down like a tart's drawers all the way through.
Yeah.
So tonight we've got. Hang on, where have I got? Blake lost again. Here we go. So shall we go into chat first, and then we'll because Dave's got lots of stuff to show, and I've got a thermal cooker to show. Oh, ladies, I say. So see who's We've got good evening, Chris, Dave,
Hi,
and Deb.
Ruby.
Ancient Ruby. There's Louise.
Hi,
Hello,
Louise.
Dave and Deb. Hello, everyone in chat. Hope everyone is good. Lots of love. Oh, that's nice. As I say, you know that Dave's got a cult following now, and there's groupies all queuing up if he comes down to South.
Looking the knickers at him.
Well, no, we're South. We're tight-fisted. Gets down here. We just they'll send drawings of their knickers to him. No surprise trying to shut you up from speaking freely. Yeah. Well, this is why there's less people, because they thought it's 4 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
It's a bloody funny time to go and do a broadcast.
It was just slightly, yeah.
That's right. Anyway, Dave, I think you've got something rather interesting, which I've got a little film about. I don't know, where do you want to start, mate? We didn't
just show enough of the film to show what the item is. Don't make everybody sit through 5 minutes of the video, because this design needs to be fully investigated, and I'm going to improve it, and then I'll be showing. At a later date, I'll be showing a complete design which is safe to use.
Right.
So, shall I show a little bit of the film now, or do you want to explain it?
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
So I just start the first, and by the way, your sound hasn't gone wrong because it's silent at the front beginning of the film. Because I was looking at my speakers, thinking, bloody hell, those speakers have gone wrong again. So I'll just show about a couple of seconds of it. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hey there, just a quick vid to show you an update to this Tpipe Air Heater I made a little while ago. Just by adding this small metal coupler to the bottom, I'm doubling it, even tripling the heat output out of here. From like 170 Fahrenheit, which I think is like 75 Celsius around there, up to around 500 or 250 Celsius. It's unbelievable, just with the height of 2.5 inches.
Wow.
Yeah. There's nothing like adding 2.5 inches to something, is there?
That's quite right.
I got this video that you've just shown sent to me on my YouTube feed, and it's an absolutely excellent idea. Now the guy is running it on bioethanol, so it's like meths, but organic meths.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is no carbon monoxide comes off it, and it burns odorless, and it's a very hot flame. Now, I have sent a message to the guy regarding the safety of this heater, because it appears at first glance, because I'm also a welder, you see, so I know about metal and things.
Yeah.
It appears that it might be galvanized steel that the pipe's made of.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like all the viewers who maybe watch the whole video not to just go out and buy a galvanized steel pipe and build this at home, because you can't expose galvanized steel to high temperatures, because the zinc that's in the galv will vaporize, and it's absolutely deadly. The fumes are deadly. You can't use it inside. What I'm looking at is sourcing. I'm looking to, well, I've sent the guy a message to say, please send us a link to the actual pipe you've used so I can verify that it's not galvanized.
Yeah.
When I've designed mine and built it, it's not going to be galvanized metal at all. And it's a fantastic design, because I've done a few calculations. Now, this guy is using a tuna can with a load of meths poured in it, and that's all he's doing. He's letting it burn freely with the full surface area exposed. Now, it's putting a lot of heat out, right? But this is what I intend to use, and it's your standard Transient alcohol stove.
Right,
It's a camping stove, and you can see it's a burner with a load of holes in. Chris actually builds these out of drinks cans. With all due respect to Chris, these are more efficient than his own made penny stove. Now, the beauty of this is It's got a simmer ring on it, so you can cover half the holes up.
Right, yeah.
Or a third of the holes up, right?
Yeah.
So you then have regulatable heat, and you can make your fuel last longer. Now I focused on this Tpipe heater for tonight because I believe there's a very real danger of extreme fuel poverty coming round the corner for people. Right?
Yeah.
Now, I've done a few calculations, and with the Transient Burner, I believe that you'll be able to heat a very large room, say 16 foot by 16 foot, something like that, from outside temperature, say 0 degrees outside. I believe you'll be able to get that up to 25 degrees within 15 minutes.
Ooh.
And this means that you'll be able to heat a good sized room for roughly 8p an hour. If you buy the bioethanol from Amazon, 30 quid packs of it, 12 litres for 30 quid, will give you a full size room heated to 25 degrees Celsius, right, for 8p an hour. Now that blows every appliance that you can get that runs off gas and electric. It blows it out the window. It's far cheaper. Now the beauty of it is the air supply at the back of the Tpipe is a USB desk fan. Yeah, and it runs off just a little power pack, which is solar rechargeable. You know, any kind of these backup phone chargers that you get, the USB things. The fans are £2 from the pound shop. I've got one. I've actually got the fan, but like I said, I'm waiting till I can source a safe pipe to run it on. I haven't got any zinc galvanization on it, and this is going to be a fantastic addition to anybody who's watching who'd like to dodge the current theft that's going on by the energy companies. It's going to mean that you can stay warm for a fraction of the price that it'll cost you to do it with a gas fire or an electric radiator or a blower. And I believe it's well worth looking into. But I'd like to just reiterate that I don't want people to watch that video and then say, "Oh, look, I found some T-bar ducting on Amazon. I'll send for that. It's 14 quid." And not realizing that it's galvanized, because I don't want anybody to expose galvanized metal to high heat and kill themselves, basically. I don't want that to happen. So just don't do it. If you want to look into the thing, obviously we've got a lot of knowledgeable viewers here. You're probably capable of sourcing non-galvanized tubing yourself. None of you are stupid and that. But if anybody is a bit, unsure of designing things, I intend to field a working prototype of this that's safe in the near future. And if I get invited back on, I'll be demonstrating this actually in action. And that will be a really good, important item for people to have that will work in the real world. This doesn't have to be in World War III. It doesn't have to be the zombie apocalypse. The eating bill situation means people's lives are going tits up within 12 months, right? Because there's a 50% price rise coming up next month, and they're not going to stop there.
No, of course they're not.
We're going to be in extreme fuel poverty here. Now, this is mainly I've decided to talk about this because it's mainly due to the low build cost, right? Now, there's people, I am one of them, who actually possess a wood-burning stove.
Right,
You can run for nothing. Wood out of skips. Burn your rubbish on it, burns anything, free coal off the beach at Hartlepool if you live anywhere near there. You can run it on that. But this is, wood-burning stoves, my portable one was £299 on its own. These built-in ones can run into thousands, and not everybody can afford them. So I thought I'll do this presentation and highlight the fact that you can have an alcohol-fueled hot air blower that might cost less than £100 in total with fuel to set up, right? A few bricks, a Tpipe that's not galvanized, and a 10 quid Transient burner. Really? Put two of these in.
Yeah.
You know,
I think you've just saved lives,
it's a
Dave.
no-brainer.
I think you've just saved quite a few people's lives because.
Can I just ask Dave, how many burning hours would you reckon you'd get out of a full bottle of how many litre bottle did you say?
Well, Amazon sells 12 litres for 30 quid of bioethanol, and it's completely non-polluting. It's not like meth. What you know? I mean, meth is non-polluting as well, but it smells. You don't like it. You don't want it in your house. You know,
they don't want them in your fumes in your house.
The way to go. Now, there's an additional benefit to this that I reckon not many people have realised this, but if you can get a stovetop distiller, right, which works off the top of a wood-burning stove as a heat source, right?
Yeah.
All you need is potato peelings or fruit and leaves, and you can make your own bioethanol, right, for nothing.
Yeah.
So you can make free fuel for this just by distilling, well, what's colloquially referred to as moonshine. Obviously, we're not advocating drinking this, right?
No.
But it's fuel that's going to be free of charge. And if you've got a wood-burning stove that's outside, right, you can put one outside, or you can just put an oil drum with a load of wood in it if you want, and stick a stovetop distiller on there. I intend to look at sourcing one of these. And then you can actually run this heater by making your own bioethanol for nothing, completely off grid. And the beauty of the air-driven power of it is these fans run off a solar rechargeable USB battery, so you don't even need mains electricity to run it. So it's completely off-grid space heater that's massively efficient. Now, this guy's got 500 degrees Fahrenheit hot air coming out the front of this. 500 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a lot. It is. So you could run that for 15 minutes. You've warmed your room up. You can just stick a spoon over the top of your burner, put it out. If it gets a bit cold, light it again.
Yeah.
You're running it for next to nothing.
Yeah.
That's
brilliant.
Because let's face it, central heating, which I've got, gas central heating, takes a heck of a long time to warm your house up. I mean, 15 minutes, you're not even getting...
And people on pay-as-you-go meters, it's costing 50, 60 pence an hour to run.
Yeah.
It'll run for about 7 or 8 pence an hour.
Now, by the way, before we go any further, people are probably saying, why has Dave got this cover over his mouth? Well, you're very... You like to keep things, you know, because of the...
incognito.
Incognito.
Yeah, mainly due to a previous career. I don't want people knowing who I am or where I am.
That's right.
So
it's nothing to do with you know, what the government want you to do. No. We won't go to that. Now,
definitely not.
Recap. Is this correct? Bioethanol?
Bioethanol is what you want to be running, and it's on Amazon, 12 litres for 30 quid. That's £2.50 a litre, right?
Yeah.
And I reckon if you're reasonably, you know, cautious with the amount that you use and just keep your room at like 25 degrees, you don't want it like a sauna, then I'm pretty confident that you could run keep one room fully heated at like 25 degrees Celsius for well under 10 pence an hour.
It's amazing.
And it doesn't get no better than that.
No, it doesn't.
And you can change that 10 pence an hour to nothing if you just invest in a stovetop distiller and make your own bioethanol out of potatoes, sugar, water, and yeast.
That's all you need, yeah.
That's brilliant.
Great, isn't it?
That's guess who's going to be looking into this?
I think I know.
Yeah, that stove that you showed, Dave. Can we sort of go, because people say, what is that stove? So if I write it out and I'll flash it on the screen at the bottom. So what was it called now? Because I can make it inefficient.
The guy's stove on the video clip that you showed.
No, the one that you've got.
The tiny one.
Well, I've got the Anave Frontier stove.
Anave,
ANNEVAY. Frontier stove. That's my stove, and it lives in a bag. You can take it out, put it up, I've got a custom 45-degree chimney, so I can shove it out the window. You know, if you haven't got a flue, you can stick it out the window. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you can take. Say if you was in a flat and you wanted to run this when the full grid goes down, or when electricity and gas become completely untenable for all but the super rich, right?
Yeah.
Then you can easily take one of your double glaze units out, replace it with a piece of plywood, and the Anave stove as an optional extra, which is a silicon stove jack, mainly for use with tents. You'll just cut a round hole in your piece of wood, stick the silicon heat-proof stove jack in there, thread your chimney through it, rock and roll.
Right.
But with bioethanol, you don't need that. You see, I would strongly advise people, even if it doesn't give off nasty fumes, to actually get one of these. What's those things? What you can't see, which kills you. It comes from fires.
Zero carbon monoxide. Bioethanol doesn't produce any carbon monoxide whatsoever.
So you're okay. You won't collapse.
With bioethanol, you're completely all right. But with the Anave wood burning stove, you need a chimney going out, because that obviously is burning wood, and that does produce carbon monoxide. Okay. But the appeal of this blower heater that we showed the short video clip of is it's completely hazard free. It doesn't produce any carbon monoxide. You get a ton of heat out of it for next to no an hour, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I'll just reiterate for anybody who's just joining us: do not go out and order just any old piece of Tpipe ducting to build this yourself, unless you've checked that it's not galvanized.
Yeah,
because
that's the main thing.
Use galvanized steel. Now, people who know about metallurgy and welding and things will say to me, "Oh, hang on, it's never going to get that hot because there's a fan blowing through it. That the metal don't get that hot." Now, they have got a point, right? But picture this: you put it on, your room gets nice and warm, you fall asleep, your fan runs out of charge.
Yeah.
Right? So your fan stops, the heater's still going, then your galv gets heated up to 500 degrees and you're dead. You won't wake up.
You're right. Right.
Please, everybody who's watching this, heed that warning. Do not just go out and say, "Oh, look, this looks like that guy's." And if it's galvanized steel, it will kill you.
Yeah. You're right. So I think that our ducting in this country, I think it's aluminium.
Aluminium's all very well, but
aluminium,
it's got a low melting point.
Yeah, that is a problem.
No, it has got a low melting point. Now, this is. I have seen these T-bar constructions for sale made out of just stovepipe, right?
Yeah.
Which is just painted with heat-proof stove enamel. That's perfectly safe, but they're 85 quid, right?
Yeah.
The galvanized ones are 14 quid. Now, what I'm looking for is an happy medium here.
Yeah.
And I've even been looking into, because really you only need a T-shaped T-shaped pipe, right? This could be box section. It doesn't have to be round. Get a 6-inch box section. Cut a square out of it. Stick the bottom one into the top one. You don't even need any welding if you cut it with an hacksaw.
Yeah.
Blow it through a square one, and that's just mild steel. So I'm looking into these possibilities. Before I actually field a working safe prototype, I'll have come up with the best configuration for this. And if I get invited on again in a few weeks or something like that,
sure it will be,
and I'll be happy to demonstrate this in action, because I think it's a massive, massive lifesaver that's going to make a difference in the real world. I mean, well, survivalists and preppers like me are really, usually talking about hypothetical situations. Ooh, what if a big asteroid hits the Earth? Assuming that the Earth was a spinning ball. And what if a load of zombies arrive, or what if the aliens invade, or But what we're addressing here is an actual imminent, gonna happen, real world problem that's gonna harm people, right? And it's being done by an allegedly civilized government, right? The government are taking the caps off these energy firms and saying, Or you can just charge all these
Do what you want.
whatever you want, mate. Yeah,
Yeah.
knock yourself out. We don't care if they die. It'll just increase the total that we've managed to kill already with the
Yes.
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
That's the only view the government has. They're happy if the energy firms do some of their culling for them.
Oh yeah.
Larry. So don't let them do it for you. Get one of these heaters. I'll if you're not that confident of getting a safe one up and running, tune in next time I'm on, and I'll have one up and running for you, and I'll be showing you it working. So
yeah. Sorry
I actually think that we could actually make this, because if you notice, that guy had his stood on a load of bricks.
Yeah.
I'm quite confident that you could find various sized bricks to make just one that you assemble when you put it on, and it's just a brick tube going up and some bricks going across the top.
Yeah.
Let's look at
together with epoxy or whatever, you know.
What about drainage pipe, a clay drainage pipe, a T-piece?
Yeah, anything. That's what I'm saying. All you need is a T-shaped thing, so you can stick a fan at the back of it that blows the heat through. That's the key. It works via a combination of convection and conduction. It's a beautiful design, and this guy is really onto something with this.
Yeah.
This is why I've I've given it the time of day and things. I think it's worthwhile.
Yeah,
it's a good one. The only thing I was going to say is that if you do use clay pipe, they have neoprene seals, so you've got to get them out first, because otherwise, neoprene. But a clay, the good thing is it holds the heat. So even if you take the heat off,
so you'll have a built-in storage heater as well.
Yeah. This is absolute genius. This is fantastic. Show it. They've got quite a few interesting questions.
Yes, we have.
Chat. We've got a few late arrivals. I'm afraid notes from parents are no longer
accepted.
It's lines now.
Apparently, please write out 100 times I should have been here earlier.
Ancient Ruby says, "Hi all, I just got out of a power cut for over 2 hours. Missed
2 days.
Deb's show. Bloody hell, that's a long time. But watched today and enjoyed it."
Oh, thank you, Ruby.
Blimey, what happened? Did the cat chew through the power cable or something?
A bit of wind, won't it? Hey up.
Everybody worried about power cuts. Get this.
Wind up torch. Got one of them.
Yeah, it's waterproof to 60 foot or something as well.
Yeah.
You know, this is like a cheap item, but it's really very good. You know.
Yeah. They're bright.
And that's
thanks for the laser eye surgery, Dave.
It's a couple of seconds winding. That it's really dim at this end. I'm not trying to dazzle people, but if anybody thinking about power cut preparedness, this is where it's at.
Yeah.
As simple as that. And if you want to turn it into a lamp, just get an empty milk bottle, wash it out, stick it on the top. It's a diffuser, plastic milk bottle. Then you've got a lamp instead of a flashlight.
Yes.
Brilliant. Now we got here. We got here from Louise Wilcox. Can you spell the name of your stove, please, Dave? Please let us know how to build one, Dave. Remember, us women may need. Laugh out loud. I'd like a copy of your plan, please.
I think Louise was talking about, the little tin that you've got with the I can't remember what you called it, with the thing that slides across.
That's it.
I think that's what Louise is on about.
Yeah. What is that? Alcohol burner.
Just one moment. I will write that down and flash it. Give a quick flash of it down the bottom of the screen. So what is it? It's a transient
alcohol burner.
Yeah. Right.
This is actually not a Trangia. It's a generic no-brand one, and they're a lot cheaper than the Trangia ones, and they're absolutely identical. It's a Chinese one. They're just as good.
Right.
And of course,
still does the job.
Yeah.
I can actually make one out of 2 tin cans.
Yeah, I know you can. Yeah.
One.
Not everybody can do that.
Yeah, they're 6 foot bobs each, aren't they? You better undownload the money off the website because we don't use English currency around here.
No, it's Fock Bob's.
It's Fock Bob's. So I'll just add the banner. Is this the right?
The three-legged stove is spelled Anevay.
Hang on a minute.
Trangia. It's a G, not an S. Trangia.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Back to the boring board. So it's Trangia. Trangis. GIA rather.
GIA.
GI. Right. And
Trangia.
Chandria. Okay. I've got that. And then how do I?
And the wood burning stove, the collapsible wood burning stove, is Anevay.
Anevay.
Yeah.
Right.
Anevay Frontier stove. That's just the daddy of packable stoves. You won't find a better one.
Right.
Right. And the other one, sorry, I'm a little bit behind here. The other one, sorry to be a pain in the ass, but what was that? What was that other one you said?
Anevay, Anevay. But this is a wood burning multi-fuel stove.
I need to write that down. I need to look that up.
Is it Anevey?
VAY.
Oh, VAY. Here we go. Because right, I got that. Now I'll just show it. Here we are. Anevay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that's it.
Anevay Frontier stove. Best holding stove you can get.
Right. Thank you for that.
So that
even has a built-in water heater that straps to the chimney, so you've got constant hot water with a tap on the bottom.
Wow.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Go on their website, Anevay. Absolutely fantastic equipment. I just can't say enough about it.
Brilliant.
These are the ones that's a lot more expensive, but they don't outperform these.
No. Brilliant.
I knew someone that had water on the brain, but they needed a tap on the head. Sorry. Sorry. That's a terrible one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Right. We got here. What we got here? Oh, this is nice. Your hair looks nice, Deb.
Thank you. Yeah, I haven't really done much with it tonight, to be honest.
But what about my hair? I mean,
it's lovely.
Oh, bloody hell, these gals, my wig's gone. Where's it gone? Oh, Christ.
Your ginger toop's fallen off.
I have to get next door's cat to sit on my head, wouldn't I? Now, the first part of this sentence, people are going to say, I used to work in the city, not in banking, with a B, not a W.
Yeah, it wasn't a banker.
An architectural project there. I'm walking to work from Liverpool Street this morning. There was a bloke who was a banker.
Yeah.
And he had, you think, all the money they have, you know, I mean, quite honestly, he had this Tpipe, which was the worst you could ever. It was a bleeding rug on his head. I think he sent it off to the rug repairers and carpet cleaners too. And as he's walking along, he said, "This bloody thing." It was a city gent. You had all the, you know, whistle and flute on. He was walking along like this rug going. This is why I sport a see-through one. You see, I've got got the hair down to my shoulders, but it's see-through.
It's clever.
That bullshit.
Polar bear fur.
Right, what we got here? Oh, Town Cry. Yeah, your hair looks nice as well, doesn't it?
He's got a note from his mum. Are we accepting that?
Oh, yeah, I think we will. Yeah.
It's this week, then.
He's a good boy. Right. Oh, this is 1343. Do you think I don't think I can read that out.
Prince Andrew wearing the same costume as me. Right. Well, I can assure you, his reasons are very different from mine.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But he might
I've got a mustache older than his last girlfriend.
Handy, innit?
I love it.
But what we got here? Can the ethanol, sounds rude, doesn't it? If you've got ethanol, can the ethanol be put into a little camp stove because I cannot make things as you suggest? What would you recommend, please? Well,
the ethanol can be put into any stove and you can use it safely indoors. But the genius of the design that you say you're unable to make is it's got an air air blower,
spreads the heat.
a fan blowing it through. So you get complete you'll have noticed if you watched a bit of the video, the guy has increased the efficiency just by adding a taller downpipe. Now, what this has done, it's enabled him to get a more complete combustion. But if you watch the full video, you'll notice that his flames are still yellow. So he's still not achieving anything like 100% combustion. Now, if I was helping him design that, I would have suggested drilling a few holes in the vertical downpipe as well to allow more oxygen in. And then you're getting a faster throughput of air. He may lose a few degrees heat on the output, right? But per degree Celsius of room heat increase, he'll be using less money's worth of fuel due to a more complete combustion.
Yes.
Whenever you've got a yellow flame, you're not having complete combustion.
Yeah.
Right. We got one here from Ancient Ruby. And it said, I got a paraffin heater and I bought a new bottle when it broke down. Yet it was fairly, I bought a new bottle when it broke down, yet it was fairly new. So I was extremely cold for 3 days. Now, I'm sorry to hear that, Ancient Ruby, but what you can do, you could go along to the pound shop or IKEA. I don't know if you've got an IKEA near where you live. And they used to sell, now you've got to be very, very careful. So the first warning is you've got to buy, without any doubt at all, one of those, what's name meters?
Carbon monoxide detector.
Please.
This is why I don't advocate for paraffin. Not that a lot of carbon monoxide comes out of it, but it still comes out of it. And plus, they stink your full house out.
Yeah.
Paraffin is a shite because they make your whole house smell. This is why you want bioethanol. It's cheaper as well.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer, you know.
You're
I've got
right.
a paraffin cooker.
Yeah.
But I don't use it because it stinks.
Oh, it does stink. It's an outside jobby. But the thing is, I was going to say, please, Ancient Ruby, please buy a carbon monoxide meter before you do what I'm suggesting. And that is you can get 2 flower pots on top of each other. And I don't know if you've seen that. And if you go onto YouTube, they'll show you to make a flower pot heater.
Yes.
Out of flower pots.
Seen that.
They are dangerous. Please be very, very careful. And they will warm you up. And they're very, very cheap. But please, you don't need that. You don't need DIY skills. You just need a couple of bricks and a bit of imagination. But carbon monoxide meter beforehand, please. I beg you. Please, I'd never forgive myself if anything happened. So I hope you don't think
if anybody was in their house and they have got no heating, right?
Yeah.
If you're sat in your house and you've got no heating, it's easy to say, "Oh yeah, get yourself wrapped up in a quilt." Yeah, that's going to warm you up. But say you haven't been eating properly, you might have some kind of illness where you haven't had anything to eat for 48 hours. Your body's not going to really produce any body heat to maintain. So. I mean, an outside technique that will work well inside if it's done carefully is the large military issue poncho, right?
Yeah.
Sit on a stool, right? Get a candle and burn it on the floor, well away from the poncho, well away from yourself. You want at least a foot or 2 between the flame and anything else. Or you can put one of those...
flower pot?
Heat deflector on top of it to save it being an actual point flame, and that will warm your whole atmosphere up to 40 degrees Celsius within half an hour inside your poncho. And it's personal heat. It's not going to heat your room up, but it will definitely save you from any kind of hypothermia. People have used this technique in Canada at -50 in winter, and the temperature inside the poncho has been +25.
Yeah.
It's an increase of 75 degrees Celsius for nothing but a candle flame.
Yeah.
But also, at the table, the other one is to get
needs great caution. You need to be great caution with working with naked flames.
And also the carbon monoxide thing. And the other thing is, the other one is to put sheets over a table and get underneath the table.
That's right, with a candle,
another one. But Now, this is an interesting one from Paul Green. Hello, Paul. A T-piece of stainless steel electrical trunking might work.
Excellent idea, yeah. You
quite
want a big bore. You want quite a big diameter electrical trunking, or if it's a square, you want it quite big, because you want the cross piece diameter to be the same as the vertical piece diameter, and you want the cross piece diameter to be larger than the fan.
Yeah.
Right? Because this massively increases the throughput of air. If you have an aperture that's only as big as the fan, right?
Yeah.
And it's only going to blow that much air in. If you have it much bigger than the fan, the action of the air going through will pull more air in from the outside than you can imagine. It'll pull cubic meters of magnitude more air in, because you've got a gap of about this between the front of the fan and the beginning of the tube, so it will suck air in. So you want quite a large tube, larger than the fan, but stainless steel electrical trunking will work fantastic.
Bloody good idea. Thanks, Paul. That's a great.
To see that we've got knowledgeable viewers coming up with suggestions for this. All I've done is outline a really good concept here. You can make it your own as long as you keep your health and safety in mind.
Yes, definitely.
Safety is number one priority. That's the Russian hacker says that. Your safety is the number one priority. Sorry, I'm not very good. But
Russian hacker,
that's it. The thing is that what is no is was it steel that's galvanized? Galvanized steel is the no-no.
Yeah, don't use galvanized steel.
No. Okay, righto. And we got here, Suru says, Dave, please get one up and running. This is a real priority. Thank you.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah, definitely.
Righto.
I'm working on it.
Now the other one, this is what I got into once, is rocket stoves. There's a lot of videos on YouTube titled Rocket Stove, a stove that is, I've actually made one, that's made out of bricks that you assemble as and when you need it. Well, my one I've made out of what's that stuff that comes from, not pumice, that stuff from volcanoes.
Pumice, yeah. Lava, pumice.
You buy it.
Fire bricks.
No, it's like you can put it on your garden. I can't think what you call it.
Oh,
it's proof. And cement, but you've got to get the ratio just right. And I've made one, so and they're easy to actually make. Bloody hell, you got.
It's fallen over.
It's fallen over. Oh, it's all right.
I'll see his feet in the air in a minute.
But yes, then we got here.
Dan's just said vermiculite.
Vermiculite. That's
vermiculite.
Vermiculite and concrete. You've got to get the ratio just right, and I can't remember it offhand. But if you and I bought back vermiculite from Jewson's. That's where they did sell it. You can't get it that easily. They did sell it in a pound shop for a little while. Can't.
Okay.
And you got it takes. If you made one now, you wouldn't be able to use it till next year because it takes about 6 or 7 weeks for the cement to cure enough heat. And I made one out the garden, throughout the garden and that, and it really does work. You know, you put a saucepan, it's very efficient. But now the thing is, shall we go into the adverts, have a little break, and we give Dave. So last week I said it's very nice of the yoga people, and that's Vicky and Edgehammer. Edge Thumper, right, who sent me a very kind donation for the advert, and I said, coming up will be the yoga advert, and I forgot all about it. Oops. So I better shall we say have a run of adverts this week, and I'm waffling on here whilst I'm trying to find a bloody advert.
I'll just do this while
you're gone again.
Don't tell me he doesn't want to see the yoga advert. Well, never mind, here it goes. Hello, if you don't want to meet people like this, dressed in leotards and acting strangely, or if you don't want people that do things like this, then why not go along to Yoga Hearts? You can see the website just here, advertised at the bottom of the page, for jolly nice people, or telephone 07463 021 512. And remember to tell Vicky, who runs the class, where you saw this advert. Thank you very much. Right. And, do you think we ought to go at Dribbles?
Oh God.
Yeah. Are we ready for Dribbles?
Let's
and
have Dribbles.
Diddly dum, be dum, diddly dum, dee 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 dum. Oh, 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 Dribbles, 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 the incontinent kangaroo. Dribbles, Dribbles, a twat through and through. So what are you up to today, Dribbles? Well, I'm going to piss on the shoes of this twat in a uniform. Bleeding plonker. Yes, I think he's got piss all down the front of his shoes, actually. Yeah, don't worry, soon sort that bastard out. Next week, we've got the adventures of Andy, the nonce kangaroo. That's going to be good, isn't it? I did have yeah, so it'll be Andy. Of course, there's no sort of correlation between anybody else, is there? It's only, Andy the nonce kangaroo.
Yeah, just a random kangaroo.
That's right. Well, I think that Dave the Survivalist was a fan of Skippy, and he didn't like the rival Dribbles. So it's time for me to show my. Are you ready? Don't
get go for it.
It's time for me to show my solar cooker. I know you was overcome by excitement, Dave. I was going to show my cooker. Right.
Who's he talking to? Right.
Sorry, I was just talking to the great John Hamer.
Ah.
I didn't get a chance to say hello tonight. Hello, John.
Hello.
Oh.
Can you hear him? He said hello.
Now, this is it looks expensive, but do you know how much this cost me? Nothing, because I'm a tight fisty. Right. So first of all, let's have a look what you do. You find a jar, any jar.
Any jar.
Okay, there's a jar.
Yeah.
And then you paint the outside of it. Now, if you go along to places like Wickes, or if you're in America, you go to Home Depot, isn't it? Home Depot.
Yep. Home Depot.
That's right. And it's called
Harbor Freight.
That's it.
Harbor Freight. Walmart.
Right. That's it. Walmart. Burt's. And then you paint the outside matte black. Now,
just ordinary paint.
Just ordinary paint. But mix it with bicarb of soda, and it goes rather solid on the outside. So you get just ordinary paint, matte black, the type of stuff you paint on walls and things like that. You don't want gloss.
Yeah.
And then you get a larger jar.
Yeah.
And then you fit the smaller jar inside the larger jar like that.
Yeah.
Screw the cap on.
Yeah.
And then put it sideways like that, and then get some kitchen foil. And I mean, you can paint the inner one with emulsion paint.
Right.
Get it to the heat. And then you put this, how can I show it like that? You put this foil, crinkly foil, around the back like that. Now, we get very few blue sky days in this country, but you do occasionally get them. And I have actually used this. And if you put it on its side like that, as the sun goes round, you don't have to keep altering the position. It'll catch the sun. And this is like a slow cooker. And when you come to open it, I actually put it in my greenhouse, but I have used it outside. It's very, very efficient, providing, it's not one of these days where you got the clouds coming over all the time.
Yeah.
And I know in Britain, you wouldn't use this that often. But when I have used it, I've actually cooked beans in it. Some people do chicken legs, all kinds of things like that. It's equivalent of a slow cook. It takes about 3 or 4 hours. But when you undo it, wear gardening gloves or protection gloves and put goggles on, because when you open it, it is absolutely boiling hot.
Yeah.
And of course, you take this part out, it can do that. So be very, very careful. And you'd be surprised how different the food tastes in it, especially if you haven't washed it out beforehand. But no, seriously.
Coffee flavoured chicken legs. Nice.
Should not use bacteria and aftertaste go down well here. But seriously, it does work. It seems strange putting this out the garden and leaving it there with the foil around the back of it, and it really does get hot. And I'm talking very hot.
It's a really impressive concept, and if you want to increase the heat that goes into the food, instead of getting the inside jar and painting it black, change the inside jar for a metal container, because far superior conductivity.
Excellent, good point there.
Right? Paint that matte black, right? Stick that inside the jar. This is the stainless steel. You'll get about another 60% more conductivity into whatever food's inside. Because
this is what the show's all about.
There's a variation of it. There's a
ideas
in bushcraft survival whereby you'd cover this in pine tar or birch tar, right, and then roll it in the ashes of your fire to make sure it's matte black, and then this becomes a solar cooker on its own without bothering with an outside glass.
Yeah.
Because it's high conductivity, thin steel. But it won't be as efficient as Chris's because you haven't got the double layer thermal efficiency. But that just reminded me of a bushcraft solar cooking technique. You'd still want Chris's version if you want it to be fully efficient.
Yeah.
You know, the jar would improve my system, but the stainless steel bottle would improve that system. So it
just needs to be a combination of the two somehow.
Yeah.
Big problem is I find the neck of the jar is narrower. It's very difficult to find things to fit inside it. I think the pound shop does stainless steel things like that. Little water bottles, things like that. And now, have you got anything? Do you want to go first, Dave, or shall I give people a quick flash of my thermal cooking?
Feel free. I'll be showing some everyday carry items after you've done your thermal cookery.
We do the thermal cooking. This is very straightforward. Now, if you go Tesco's, Joe, I think we ought to get money from these people for advertising.
Yeah.
I don't like Tesco's, but they.
I definitely don't like Tesco's at all. It's nothing to do with Tessmark and Cohen being the founders, because I don't think like that, obviously.
No.
You mean you're talking about the Jehovah's Witnesses?
Yes, the Jehovah's Witnesses.
I'm not sure who they are, but they seem to have small hats.
Yeah.
Yes. Doilies. My mum used
Doilies.
to she used to put sort of things on,
Yeah.
Put biscuits.
Could be jam jars with them.
That's right. But anyway, I was going to say, you can get these food flasks. Well, they're all right, but a bit crappy because they don't really hold the food that hot for very long.
Yeah.
So, what yours truly has done, out of a trousers leg, of an old pair of trousers, I've made a cover for it, which is insulated with, that bubble wrap that you get in bottles, or that polystyrene wrap. So I've made that like that. Okay, and I've made a little app for it to go on. So what I did is, now supposing we've got real food property, if you're using anything, unless it's a wood fire, say you're using ethanol fire, anything like that, or stove, you don't want to use your fuel up. So you cook some potatoes for 10 minutes, or chicken, or anything like that. I'll be careful with chicken. I'll go for red meats, because with white meats, pork and chicken, bacteria goes inside it. Red meats is on the outside, so just a little tip there. And then you put it inside there like that, the food flask. You can get these for about £6, £7, something like that. Now, if you had that on its own, that would last a couple of hours. Shove it in this thermal thing, put a little hat on like that. Oh, where'd that come from? That's Dribbles again. He's come back. And
that kangaroo just popped up.
Random.
He's taking a piss, isn't he? Now, you see, you got that there like that. And what I do, you see, I go out in the morning. I only cook my spuds and the food for 10 minutes. And I've got several of these. Mate, again, you can run these up out of an old trouser leg. Yeah. And when you come back, as long as Dribbles hasn't done his bit up against it. And
obviously.
And I come back to a very hot, piping hot meal that's cooked.
Impressive. That's impressive. Yeah.
Carries on. And you've only used 10 minutes of fuel. And potatoes take a minimum of 20 minutes.
Yeah, they do.
And they're not mushy. They're perfect. Absolutely perfect. And what I do with broccoli.
So what you're saying is it uses the heat retention to complete the cooking of the potato. So you only need to partially cook the food, and then the heat retention from your design carries the cooking process on, but without fuel. Yeah, brilliant.
Precisely. Some people do cook meat in there. I'll be a bit careful. I don't cook rice in there. No way. Because rice can't be boiled for a long time. I'll tell you another one.
It's full of bacteria as well.
That's right. Spaghetti you put in there, and that takes half an hour in one of those. Because all you do, you just pour boiling water from the kettle. You always pre-warm it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you pour boiling water in from the kettle. It's pre-warmed. Put the spaghetti in and just leave it for half an hour. And it's done. Yeah. Perfect. So
brilliant.
Yeah.
So we got one there. So should we go back into chat and then go back to Dave? Shall we?
Yeah, let's have some questions if somebody have any. Got any.
Right. Now, can you see anything there, Deb and Dave?
I'm fire while I scroll about.
Just have a look down.
I did see one a minute ago.
Hang on. Have we got another admirer? Ancient Ruby, agree. Deb's hair always looks gorgeous.
Thank you. Right. I've found one, I think. Sue Rose saying, so am I right in thinking if I fill my brand new garden shed heater with ethanol, would that work safely?
So am I right in thinking if I fill my brand new garden shed heater with ethanol, would it work safely?
It depends on the design of the heater. But ethanol itself produces no harmful fumes whatsoever.
Yeah, that's right. You're right there. And it's funny enough, Kim has just said carbon monoxide detector. Well, I'd always have one around. Yes. Hello, we lost Deb. Where's she gone? But quite honestly, it doesn't give off any bad fumes. As Dave just said,
bioethanol gives off no harmful fumes whatsoever.
That's right, and so that I'm really pleased about that. That's brilliant. Now we got it says here, where are we? I would be afraid to burn a lot of things within the home. Well, again, it's using fire bricks and being very, very careful. And also, I would not leave the room. If you've got that going, I wouldn't leave it alone. I'd be in the room all the time, And it's a bit like a pressure cooker. And I use a lot of pressure cookers. And I might nip up the stairs to the loo, get distracted after I've come out. The phone might ring upstairs or something like that. And then, oh, blimey, the old pressure cooker's going absolutely doolally there. So
pressure cookers frighten me to death.
Yeah. Oh, they're all right if you get used to them. Robert, hello, Robert. If what you say is true about the danger of flower pot heaters, why not install them in the House of Commons as a cost? Brilliant idea. Excellent.
I like the idea, but it wouldn't work practically because it only kills humans.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've got big question marks about whether the people in the House of Commons and Lords are actually human anyway.
Aren't we all?
Yeah,
because apparently the Queen is supposed to have got something that we mustn't mention, but you said it's perfectly. It's nothing to worry about, is there, Dave? Because what is it you're saying?
Yeah, it doesn't kill reptiles.
So we're all right there. So we're okay.
It doesn't kill reptiles.
Yes, I mean I've often thought that the people in the House of Commons look like the type, blokes in there look like the type of blokes that would suck a fisherman's friend. Lozinger.
Definitely.
Yes. I often jump up in the YouTube comment section and when people like Michael Gove and Chris Whitty are on there on speaking in the house or whatever they're doing, right? I just do a little survey. I say, hands up if you'd hire this guy as a childminder. And he gets some amusing responses. Yeah.
Oh, Kath's asking a question. So there's a deep chimney breast in my place. So if I open it up, get it swept, I could burn anything going quite safely, Dave.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, as long as you've got an outlet for.
Oh yeah, as long as there's an outlet, just do a smoke test, and then if the smoke goes, if you get a smoke splint that gas fitters use for testing flumes, they cost next to no.
I've done it before with an
when you
incense
get the fireplace, stick the smoking splint in there, and if the smoke goes up the chimney, your stove will run perfectly safely. Any stove.
And Ancient Ruby wants to know: can I use ethanol in an oil lamp? I'm presuming she means like the ones with a wick.
Don't use ethanol in an oil lamp because if it's in a confined space, oil lamps often have a glass container, with a wick on. Ethanol's not suitable for a wick lamp. It's no good. You only need oil in them, like paraffin or something like that for an oil lamp, because it could combust and explode, because alcohol's a lot more volatile than oil. It has a lower flash point and it all goes up at once.
Yes.
This is why it's got to be exposed to the atmosphere. You don't have a wick in any alcohol-based stove. You only have a wick in an oil-based stove.
Yeah. Yeah, for the oil to soak into so that it's slow burn.
Guys, ignore the rocket stove comment I made earlier. I hadn't realised you were talking about indoor heating. So remember, if you see this for the second time, go whilst while mentioning it. So remember that. Right, we've got an interesting one down here. What's this? Just to say, I hate stupid adverts. Oh, well, I won't put stupid advert on again. Now, what have we got here?
You do what you want, Chris. It's your show.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. No. We'll stick that on if you want to. Right. You're quite right, Deb. Deb's right. Now, this is a good one.
That's right.
Fire, car manifold cooking. I've done it.
Yeah.
And I did it when I was very young. I'm talking about the car manifold cooking. And I put potato on there. So one side was cremated. I should have cut it up, you see. Put it inside.
I turned it over halfway through.
Halfway through. But remember, I was a stupid boy, teenager. Yeah. So we had a cremated cooked potato one side and raw the other side. No, it didn't work. But it does work. And there was a famous actor that did that. He made manifold steaks and all kinds of things. But you've got to go on a long journey. And that's interesting. Now, what we got here? Now you said about the deep chimney breast. Can I buy an open fire? Yes. Oh, hang on. There's one from Kath. Hello, Kath. Yeah. We haven't mentioned you much tonight, have we? So we got Kath Holdsworth. Can I burn an open fire
through rather than do the stove thing?
Yeah, definitely. If you've got a fireplace with a safe chimney, just do an open fire. Stick a fire grate in front of it, stick your coal or wood on and burn an open fire. The only downside is far less efficient than a stove. Yeah. That's the problem. You're going to be using about 5 times as much fuel to get the same amount of heat into your room.
Yeah, because you're going to be losing a lot of heat up your chimney, aren't you?
That's why I'm a stove fan.
That's funny. I like that.
Good to know you can use a chimney. I have one on my roof, although saying that it wasn't there before storm unit struck.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to burn a wood-burning stove in your house, as we were saying before, I don't know if some viewers have just joined us, but the Anave stove has a takedown chimney, and I have I've had a piece of the chimney section custom welded into a 45-degree elbow angle so that you can stick it out the window.
Yeah.
Which means you don't need a chimney.
Good idea, isn't it?
Very good idea.
I mean, this bioethanol, I never knew anything about this before the show. And I can't thank you enough, because guess who's going to make one of those?
I bet I can guess.
Yay!
There's actually quite a thriving industry making what look like wood-burning stoves, right? But you don't need a flue because they run on bioethanol. All they have is a burner tray inside, and you pour the bioethanol in, and it looks like your traditional wood-burning stove, but it burns bioethanol.
Wow.
And it's like a metal box with a door on the front and things, just like a wood-burning stove. But what I will say is it's very expensive to run just as a radiant heater.
Yeah.
Now, this is the reason why I showed Chris was kind enough to show the clip of the guy with the Tpipe stove earlier on, because the thing that makes that efficient and cheap to run is the air blower.
Yes. Your £2 fan.
Yeah. £2, yeah.
Available. I think you might be able to get it in America. Was it at the dollar store? I think
Dollar
Tree.
Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
That's right. And we've got pound.
Not idolatry, just Dollar Tree.
Just Dollar Tree.
Are we ready for another silly advert?
Yeah, let's have another silly advert.
Well, no, this is a serious advert. This is. So here, Joe, is your advert. Here it comes. Hello. If you think that people who go to therapy cabins are like this, or like this, then you're going to be very disappointed. Why not meet normal people and go along to meet Joe Lanza, who runs the joestherapycabin.co.uk. Her telephone number is 07367 281033. She does crystal healing, chakra balance, Reiki, distant healing, aromatherapy and essential oils, and magic mists. She helps with anxiety, grief, depression, headaches and migraine, stressful events and work-related stress, trauma, dementia and insomnia. Thank you very much. There we are.
I can do special mists.
Can you do special mists? I can, after I've had some Brussels sprouts.
Correct.
Now let's see if we can get your Fuck 'em all advert.
Hello. Are you partial to something a little different? Do you like to give the two-finger salute to mainstream media? Then look no further than Fuck 'em All Radio. With its charming mix of information and lots of archive footage, it really is a treat for the senses. You will surely exclaim, "Well, butter my crumpets," when you peruse all that Fuck 'em All has to offer. So, just pop along, quick sticks, to www.fuckemhallradio.com. You'll be assured of a super spiffing time, and as we like to say, Fuck 'em Hall.
That was highly amusing, mate. I was impressed. It was very Python-esque, wasn't it? Python-esque, innit? It's great.
I just love how you look like you made me look like the Queen.
Sorry if that was an insult, but I'll tell you what we all need to go. So what do you think about this one, Dave? This is brilliant. I think the whole House of Commons should go along to this place. That's Hornet Land.
Hornet Land.
You get a real buzz there.
Come and get stung off nature's stripy bastards.
Last year I visited a nearby Moscow. I paid £15 to get.
That is funny.
Oh, dear.
That's isn't it?
There's always a swarm welcome at Hornet Land.
I paid £15 to get in and got stung once on the arse.
Oh dear. Oh, I've got to go this day.
I reckon we try to get into Hornet Land now. It's what those William Shatner, isn't it? Who made his panties called Shatner Panties, but he thinks he's got a very good idea.
Yeah, he was actually going to get married to Stevie Nicks. She changed her mind because she didn't want to be called Stevie Nicks. John told me that.
Can't blame John. Oh dear.
Oh dear. Many years ago, do you remember, what was his name now? Kenny Everett. He did the world's worst record spot. And William, what's his name, Shatner, actually came quite high on it as the world's worst record. Because have you ever heard him try to sing?
No, thankfully. Well, I've avoided that for 53 years, so I'll stay as I am.
Well, if you're constipated, just listen to him, and I think you might.
But that'll move things along nicely.
Yeah. What one it was? I Want My Baby Back. Now you can look that up on YouTube, and it won it on Bad Taste. And that's the worst Bad Taste record ever made. Have you ever heard it? I Want My Baby Back.
No.
Oh,
I thought some of Kenny Everett's characters on the Kenny Everett television show was really amusing.
Cupid's Stunt.
Yeah, Cupid's Stunt was my favourite. It was very amusing. Yes.
I never got that till I was in my 30s.
Anyway,
moving swiftly along.
Yeah.
Right now, you was going to show some.
Yeah. Right.
I'm losing it.
We had a brief view of this earlier on. It's just an ordinary water bottle that you might carry about to stay hydrated.
I've got one of them somewhere, yeah.
A watertight lid and things. But you can add this to it, and it takes up no room whatsoever. And some of your viewers that might do fishing and things,
right?
It's actually a fish mouth spreader. For holding the mouth of like a pike open while you get the hook out so it don't bite you. Oh.
Right.
If you turn it upside down and shove it in the bottle, you can now hang this over a fire.
Yeah.
Or you could sterilise your water or cook things in it.
Yeah.
Or make a brew.
And this don't get hot. Because it's got very small contact points.
Yeah. What a brilliant idea that is.
It turns it into like a multi-use item, which in my opinion is fantastic. That's just carrying an ordinary water bottle, and all you want is that with it. And
that's a brilliant idea. That
is a good one, that isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I like it. And these are very cheap. They're only about £3.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And it locks itself together.
Yeah.
So that, but it is a bit unstable, so I shove it in a bicycle in a tube to stop it springing apart in your pocket, you see.
Oh, you don't, yeah, you don't. I'm not doing that in your pocket,
Could be a problem, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I'll carry that in a small backpack on a daily basis, along with this. This contains everything I need in here.
Right.
If the shit hits the fan and I've got this in my pocket, I'm all right with that metal bottle. And I'm not going to take it out because it's a one-act. It's something that you don't want to be opening unless you have to, because it's packed out with everything imaginable in there. There's like
it's waterproof, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's waterproof. And what I like about it is it's got a narrow profile, so it's like a pocket-sized thing. And I've just added my plasma arc lighter.
Plasma arc lighter. I got one of them.
Another program. And inside that is my my Swiss bag. And I carry this as well. This is a pocket knife sharpener.
I got one. Brilliant.
Yeah, these are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic item. That will sharpen any blade to shaving sharp in a few seconds.
I second that. It's brilliant.
Fantastic item. And
eBay.
the obligatory ferrocerium rod here for.
Oh, I've got one of them. Yeah.
Fire starting.
Yeah.
This is a pen. It writes and everything. You know, you unscrew the lid. It's like a Parker pen. It takes Parker refills.
Right.
But if you remove the rubber tube that I've got stuck on the other end so that it don't make holes in my pockets.
Yeah.
It features a tungsten striking point.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very useful as a window breaker to rescue a dog out of an hot car in summer.
Yes.
And for no other purpose whatsoever.
I had a tool in the car like that.
Can't be used for any other purpose other than rescue an animal out of an hot car. It's a spike.
Yes. Stabber.
Can punch an hole in anything, including a car window.
Yeah.
And its primary purpose for carrying it is in case you find an animal in distress in a hot car, you see.
Yes.
Officer.
Well done. Ossifer.
Or a human in a fire that can't get out, you smash the window. You do it with that.
Yeah. Right.
That's right. So,
and you're acting to prevent a crime. And even though the rubber protects it from making holes in your pockets, it doesn't prevent it from working.
Right.
The rubber just collapses, you see.
Yeah. I had a tool like that in my car. It was like a little thing and it had a seatbelt cutter on it and one of them.
Yeah.
Pike punch things. So you could smash the window and cut the seatbelt.
People were saying, what's the difference between a prepper, which I would put us two, Deb and myself in, and a survivalist? Because a survivalist is the next stage along from a prepper, I think. Because we, as I was saying, I've got a standby backpack, which has only got 48 hours of food, just 48 hours we got. But we haven't got hunting skills. Dave has. So Dave could survive. We would have to look for tin food or anything we can salvage.
Yeah, well, hunting skills, passive hunting is always favourable to active hunting because active hunting or active fishing is massively time consuming and takes up all your attention and you can't do anything else while you're doing it. So it just makes no sense whatsoever. Better to set up passive hunting snares, traps that work while you're not there.
Yeah.
So you can be getting on with other important things like finding a water source or, you know, procuring objects to make your life easier or anything else you
building
want.
A shelter.
Hunting's, well, it's doable. Hunting is doable, but takes up all your attention and all your time, and you can only do one job when you're doing it. So
and your energy.
Automatic fishing pole with a, you know, an L7 trigger and things. A lot of your knowledgeable viewers that we've got will know what that is. You can Google it if you want. You can set up 10 fishing rods and just walk off and then come back and check them 3 hours later and maybe have 6 fish. And you've done zero effort.
Good advice. I mean, what I meant by skills, they are skills. I meant that as a sort of a range over. They are skills that you've got, Dave, that you've done. We haven't. You know, that's the thing. We would probably learn very fast if you're hungry.
I mean, a lot of people
everything's like riding a bike, isn't it? You do it for the first time, and you think, I'm going to fall arse over tit, and you generally do.
Yeah, well, people think that you've got to be able to harvest like a fish or a squirrel or a fox or whatever else you want to eat. But it's not. That's not the case. If you can find a rotten log, right, lift it up, and it's usually teeming with wood lice, and they've got more protein per ounce than fillet steak, and they actually taste like shrimps, prawns, because they're not insects. Wood lice are crustaceans.
Crustaceans,
they're more related to lobsters than they are spiders, and they taste like seafood.
Oh.
Yeah, what you have to fry them in a frying pan or boil them. If you're frying them on a dry pan, you wait until they pop and then they cook, and then you can just feel free to spoon them in and they're completely harmless. Or you can boil them and they're kind of a softer thing, but they still taste like prawns. So wood lice are a fantastic resource for somebody who might not be skilled in doing traps. Everybody can find a rotten log. Everybody can dig in it with a stick or whatever. You know, it's not all highly skilled. It's not all technical. It's just about just thinking, right, I'm going to think outside the box. What I might not be choosing to eat might very well be easily available, easy to harvest, and could save you. Or could at least supplement something else if you say you've got some of Chris's part cooked potatoes in his jar.
Yeah.
A few handfuls of wood lice in that.
Ooh, lovely.
You're living it large, aren't you? You're living.
There's your tea tomorrow, Chris.
Yeah, lovely. Actually, someone's put a beauty here in chat. You know that fish thing? They're for fishing. I need to speak to my dentist, the bastard.
Yeah.
Just read that.
If that opened in his pocket.
Right, I've actually located the downloadable book that I was referring to.
You
probably can't see that. I'll just read it.
No, I can't see that.
Everybody was raving about the foraging book, the Collins Gem Food for Free that I always pack. It's like a small book, and on a previous show, everybody was saying, "Oh, I don't want that book."
Yes.
So I found a virtually identical copy, and it's called the Pocket Urban Foraging Guide from wildfoodschool.com, right? And it's a free download, and it's a full PDF book with full color photos and everything imaginable on there. It's got.
Who's it by again, Dave?
It's got all the same pictures as the Pocket Collins Gem Guide.
Can't hear you, mate. Sorry.
And it's virtually an exact copy, and you download it and it's called. It's from a firm called Wild Food School, and it's the Pocket Urban Foraging Guide, and it's a free PDF download.
Right.
It took no room whatsoever because it's on a memory card with I've got a million other survival books and things on there. Just even if you actually know what you're doing in an high stress situation, you can forget how to do things if you're scared. So if you're in fear, you're running for your life, you're hiding, you get brain fog. You have to have a reference point to remind yourself of what you're doing and refocus. So I think these books are massively valuable in case you might be in an escape and evasion situation where, I'd be happy to admit that I'd forget some of even the basics if I was in a
panic
fight or flight situation where your adrenaline's rushing around and you're scared. You could forget things. We're only human.
Yeah, that's
Is
true.
what I've got down here? Is that sorry, I didn't mean to cut across there. Was that correct? Wildfoodschool.com?
Wild food. Hang on. Wait a minute.
Wild Food School.
Yeah. It's called Wild Food School Pocket Urban Foraging Guide. And I think the website's called the wildfoodschool.com. I'll just see if it's got a reference to it on the actual website. I don't know. I downloaded it anyhow, and it's fantastic. It's got 60 pages of invaluable UK urban foraging.
Brilliant.
It's really.
I should be downloading that.
Yeah.
Right. And
because Ancient Ruby's just said, so how are you going to use that if the internet goes down? Because it will, but if it's already downloaded onto your phone, you'll have it with you anyway.
It's not dependent on phone signal.
On the internet.
It's not dependent on internet availability, right?
Yeah.
All it's dependent on is that you can keep battery in this phone, and if you've got the folding solar panel, the Anchor 21 watt solar panel I demonstrated a few months ago. Yeah. You'll never have a flat phone. It'll be working as long as the sun whenever the sun is up, you'll have a battery on your phone.
Well,
and I've obviously got the
actually it's gone down in price on eBay now.
Yeah,
and
Anchor is just about the best brand there is, value and performance.
Yeah.
This is their battery, and it's a 21,000 milliamp. It can charge 2 devices at a time, and it'll charge your smartphone from 0 to 100% 5 times before it needs recharging.
That's
and this
brilliant.
plugs into the solar panel to recharge it. So you've got virtually unlimited electric power there.
Excellent.
Well, excellent. Now we got one from here, but hello Yorkshire Rose. Hello from Canada. Proud of our, I won't say because I might be booted off, but we can all read that, can't we? And so
Yes.
am I. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we're very proud of the Canadian truckers. Simple as that.
It is.
They're heroes. That's all there is.
Whoops. I've been collecting survival things. What is it? I have been collecting survival things needed since 2012, and yet I still do not think I will survive. I want to, but they will be there for my son to use. That's nice, but I think you will want to survive because, quite honestly, it's like everything else. I mean, I've been looking at growing food. Now, I've grown vegetables, but I'll tell you something. I want to do it less labor intensive, and the big problem is watering and things like that. But keyhole gardening. Now, if you look that up, you make a keyhole shape, and you have a compost bin in the middle. So you've got a raised bed, and then you don't see, it's not ugly, and you put the compost. You have like a bin with lots of holes in it, and they do this in Africa apparently when it's dry. And you put all your compost in this bin, which is in the middle, and that's why it's called a keyhole, because you have to sort of walk into this because the raised beds are about 4 foot high. Okay. And what happens as the rotting vegetables and that you put in the compost rot down, it then gives the plants moisture and nutrition, so you don't have to keep watering, and also attracts the worms which come up and aerate the soil. So that is the big problem: watering all the time. But the big problem in my garden, because it's a Lee Valley, is because it's a slugs and snails knocking shop. So if you grow cabbages, it's cool, blimey, they're nice. And they say, gardeners say, put a few leaves aside for the slugs. No, they say, I don't have no bleeding crap. I have nice fresh fruit.
I want that one.
Yeah. Now, we got one here. I'm not sure. I can't read out the last name, obviously. If my wife was a competitive swimmer and I recently filed for divorce and she came over to my house and drowned in my pool at the age of 40, would I be a suspect? Hell yes, but not, and I won't say. I didn't know about that. Do you know anything about that?
No.
Did you? No, I
didn't. No. What at the back? He did that, didn't he? That Barrymore. Didn't Barrymore bum somebody to death in his swimming pool?
Allegedly. Well, actually, that wasn't far from where I live. Believe it or not.
Did you not get invited, Chris, then?
Sorry?
Did you not get invited that evening?
Well, I've actually got the book, Not All White. And it was written by the I think it was a lawyer that was on the side of the bloke that got killed, his father.
Right.
What's it called? Not All White?
Not All White. Not All
So,
White.
So that's
that was what Barrymore said. Not All White.
It's not. It don't end with Not All White Lives Matter.
No, but it probably should.
Anyway, I digress.
I think Barrymore is the type of man to suck a fisherman's friend as well, isn't he?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Lozenge.
But not the lozenges.
Yeah, not the lozenges. Oh, blimey. Yeah, I remember that because it's not far from where I live.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. It's just up the road. Hang on. We've got Ancient Ruby. She's gone into capital letters now, so that means shouting. How are you going to use that? If the internet goes down, we already explained that because it will.
We're happy to explain it again because we're trying to help people here. So if they didn't catch it the first time, then this book that we've downloaded, which is an urban foraging guide, this is for the benefit of Ancient Ruby, who maybe gone and got a cup of tea when we was explaining it before, but it doesn't. The PDF in the phone doesn't depend on internet coverage or phone signal. It only depends on having battery life in the phone. And the phone is rechargeable via the Anker 21-watt solar panel, which also charges up a large 21 milliamp power pack battery, which will charge the phone up 5 times on its own without any sun. So it's never going to be a problem. These things are all designed to work with no grid.
Yeah, jolly good.
Just to clarify that point for anybody who missed it.
Yeah. Oh, but she wasn't shouting. She accidentally does what I actually sometimes do, is put the capitals on by mistake, and you try to type it away. It's all in capital letters.
I think
Ruby.
It's because when I'm doing like moderating or we're doing our live streams, I always ask people to put questions in capitals so we can pick them out. So that's probably why she's doing that.
Sorry, I'm not shouting. And we know you wouldn't. You're a lovely person, not Ancient Ruby. And we got Town Crier here. Here he is. And it says, I read an article earlier that was saying the EU are banning people from growing their own food. They're doing that in some states in America, aren't they?
Good luck enforcing it. Good luck enforcing that. It's not doable.
No.
You can't stop you eating dandelions. At least you can eat them, can't you? You can eat every part.
Dandelions, nettles,
nasturtiums,
pine needles.
Politicians, they're pretty good roasted on a.
Yeah, listen, I'll tell you now. When it all goes wrong and everything's all gone tits up, right? People need to stop worrying about how many legs their protein's got.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It doesn't matter whether it's 2, 8, 6, or 4.
Yeah.
Food's food.
Yes, right.
I have a list of people.
Yes. The only trouble is, what about the contaminating the meat?
Oh, yeah.
No, not an issue. Not a big deal. Cook it well, no problem.
Righto. That'd be quite nice. Or something like a roast politician, or with potato. Yeah. Can you imagine politician with a sort of like a potato there?
I'll have a go of steak, please.
Yes. Well, do you heard about the cannibal joke? You heard about the cannibal joke?
I've heard loads of cannibal jokes.
Three cannibals, you see, and one dies. And you probably heard it before. And he says, one says to the other one, he said, well, how are we going to share him out? It's a shame to waste him, isn't it? He said, yeah. He said, well, look, when I was in England, I used to live in Liverpool and I was in Hartlepool and I supported Liverpool football team. So I'll have the heart and the liver. And the other bloke says, well, I lived in Cockfosters and supported Arsenal, but I don't feel very hungry at the moment. Anyway. There's a good one here. John Bassinglow. You're in America. Hello. I was a deputy sheriff that worked all over Los Angeles County.
Listen.
Oh, we got very important people on this show tonight. I feel quite honest.
Nice to meet you.
Hello. I'm glad you can understand our really strange English accents. I was going to say crappy, but they're quite nice, aren't they? The celebrity double standard was off the charts, especially in Malibu.
I can imagine that.
Thanks for telling us that. Yeah, I can
John Baziglone. You're very, very lucky to be an American citizen. Don't ever give up your guns, because it's the only thing that's keeping you out the gulags as we speak.
Do you know something? I second that. And do you know, 10 years ago, if I'd have heard myself saying that, I said, oh, what a terrible thing. Well, sorry, 20 years ago, I think, because, guns are terrible. No. Every country that's given up its guns has ended up in communism, virtually. It's the government can't go too far.
Yeah, well, they took everybody's guns off them in England via the Dunblane false flag, via the Hungerford massacre false flag.
Yeah.
Before them two, we had handguns and automatic rifles allowed here. You're not now.
No.
Well, you're right.
We haven't done that for fun.
Well, the thing is that I think Town Crier he's typing away now as we speak, because come on, Town Crier, we're luring him because apparently it's part of our constitution, similar to American constitution, to bear arms.
Right.
That don't work. That don't work. Don't work like that. You'll just get 5 years in jail.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. In that way. Oh, hang on.
Ruby's worried about you.
Chris is licking his lips, reading out about eating people. Dodgy. I'm thinking the people I don't like.
Yeah. I say I've got a list.
Yeah. Then we got here Galaxian. Evening, Chris and company. Been listening for 20 miles in car and now eating a cold kebab. Great show all. Well, our show's like a cold kebab.
Oh, can't do with cold kebabs.
Now we've got
wrap it up in tin foil and put it on your exhaust manifold.
Yeah. I'll warm it up.
Yes. And remember, if you're anything to do, any MPs advise them to put it inside the exhaust.
Yeah.
No, but actually, it does work. The exhaust manifold, it does work. Now it says here, agree. And I went on radio in 2012 telling USA, do not give up your guns up because they're going to try and do it. That's right. Now it says John Bassingloan again. Thank you, David. My wife is Canadian, and Canada is going to give up.
Oh no!
Exactly like Australia, their guns. I thought because I know that. I thought they were. I'm totally ignorant. I don't know what the gun laws are in Canada. I really don't. You know. I know. I mean, I had a cousin that lived out there, and because my father was the youngest in the family. All my cousins were elderly, and he went to live in Canada, and that was in the 50s. He went there, and I know in the 60s and 70s they had guns similar to America. So I don't know whether they must have changed the laws, whether Turdo has changed it or not. I don't know, but
possibly.
You know, but here we go. But that's interesting. Thanks, John. It's nice to get. So we've got people in America. You know, I was going to say what state you're in. I mean. I'm in the state of exhaustion, and I don't really what state you're in.
He's in California, isn't he?
I'm permanently confused.
The Sunshine State. I'm in Hertfordshire, the pissing down with rain state.
It's likely.
It's been absolute galfuls here. It's all
shocking.
Yeah.
I was a bit worried about. I was a bit worried about the caravan in the front garden because I never had one before the storm.
I tell you what, anyway. It's a good way of getting rid of your junk because all you have to do about 3 o'clock in the morning is shove all your old junk over your neighbour's car.
Then they'll get all
must have been the wind that blew it in there. Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Just shove it in the bin. It's fine. I'll get a skip.
Now, what have we got here? We got any more? Let's have a look in. That's it. Well, it says it's true. It's true, Ancient Ruby. UK is a no-sum place.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether you thought I was taking the pee by showing the solar.
Yeah.
You can't use it
when you were going to use it,
wouldn't you?
At least your ice cubes won't melt.
Oh, that's right. I did. Hello, what's this? What we got a new person chat. Ali Ann Tin. Can copper kettle, brass pan, Fernley.
Fernley.
Hello. Oh, well, hello. Oh, this ancient room said, my neighbour did that.
Into your garden?
Yeah.
That's not good.
I'll tell you what I saw on Friday because I got a phone call from somebody I know whose her fence fell down and she couldn't open the back door.
Wedged her in.
So I had to go down there. It's only walking distance. And climb through the back window and pick the fence up, which was falling to bits as I was actually handling it. I mean, it's so rotten. And the fences panels were like sails of a ship. They were bending in. And walking back, I saw a child's slide. And you know the ones with the steps?
Yeah.
In the river. How did he get in there? Unless someone thought it's a good way of chucking it out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Boy, it's a good littering, isn't it? It's a good way of littering, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Fly tipping without having to.
We got John Bassinglow.
Yep.
I wonder what time it is there now. Hang on, I know they're 6 hours back, so it must be about 12 hours back. So it must be in the morning, I should have thought.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Well, they forward. Oh. Anyway, hang on a minute. Hang on.
It's
hang on.
It's 2:40 p.m. there.
All right, afternoon.
1:40 p.m.
Good afternoon, John.
Shannon. Good afternoon, because Shannon, when we come on at 8 o'clock, it's about 12 o'clock or about that time there. I was born, raised, and lived in California since 1957. 2 years ago, we retired and got the flock out of Florida, California, and now live in Auburn, Alabama. It is night and day. Yes, nice. That's very nice. And
3:30 in the afternoon.
It's 3:30, so it's good afternoon. I must say, good afternoon. And what's this? A new porno film? It's Watch Dave's Crutch. Oh, there he is.
Cheers, Dave.
The Anorak advert coming on next
morale week. Is also important in a survival situation.
I'll tell you what I saw.
Entertainment value.
Yeah. One for the girls.
Now, I saw the Russian army during the Second World War. They actually had a thing wrapped around their shoulder, which looked like a fire hose. And apparently it was their overcoats, and they wrapped them round and tied them round. And they actually, as the only army in the world, as a Red Army, that actually had their overcoat over their shoulder. And they wore them in the summer as well, like that. Yeah. Hang on, we got Town Crier. Your friend is tiny enough to get through the letterbox. Yes, I think you know my friend as well. I didn't mention your names. Yes, I think you fixed the letterbox. That's what she told me today.
This is dodgy territory.
Right, well, we're coming up to time now. We've been on almost 2 hours.
Oh, that went quick.
Have you got any more, Dave? Do you want to wind up or wait for another program?
Yeah, well, what I'm looking forward to is getting invited back on when I've had the chance to research and develop the Tpipe stove, which was referring to earlier, because I think that's of imminent importance to all the viewers.
Yeah,
we don't have to worry about that, mate. You're a regular guest, so you're like John Hamer and Deb, and that we're sort of regular guests, so you don't worry there. And I think a lot of people have been asking at Stand in the Park. I'm not quite sure I can actually put this about what we're talking about. What I won't say the word, but something that we'd have to put on the Naughty Show on my BitChute channel. Let's put it that way. And no, I better not say it because I'll just get banned from YouTube. Sorry, but it was something that I can't go down that. Sorry.
What's it related to? Because we can all work it out then, can't we?
Defending yourself using ancient things. Shall we say the Slingshot channel and Todd's Workshop on YouTube? He makes things that
it's illegal to carry anything for the purpose of self-defense.
Correct. So let's make sure this is for hobbies, of course.
I only ever carry this in case I come across an animal in distress in a car. That's its only purpose, apart from writing notes. You see.
You've got to have a pen to write with.
And I always carry a writing pad.
Yeah.
And it's in case my phone goes faulty and I have to write somebody's phone number down. It's a functional pen, and that's all it is.
Well, also, we're very interested in archery and things like that. That's what I was actually getting to. I didn't know I could actually say that on YouTube. I was going, I meant sort of archery and things like that.
Yeah,
like that. But not for self-defense, for hobby only.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I mean, it's illegal to I'm not suggesting anything illegal at all. That's right. We'd have bows and arrows. Anyway, that's what we could talk about on another show, but from a hobby point of view, of course.
Yes.
Okay. And hang on a minute. He's on as Town Cron about the letterbox. Yeah, she broke it climbing through it.
How small is this person? Is she kind of fairy size?
3 years of probably burning it. Right, we've got John Battingloan. Ancient Ruby, I agree. LA is a mess. Most folk have no idea the dystopian nightmare has become. Well, that's communism for you, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Who would have thought, in shall we say, years ago, that if someone would have said that we lost the Cold War, but there wasn't a shot fired, and I think John may, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I should think he's on the same wavelength, by using ideological subversion, that have gone in the 70s and the 60s. No, never, but they did. That's
Yes.
it. Anyway, I think we better wind up now, and I'd like to thank everybody. Thanks, both Dave and Deb,
Thank
Dave,
you.
and thanks to author John Hamer for enabling Dave to come on. So
Yes,
thank
Made
you.
it all
John.
possible. It's as simple
That's right.
as that.
And when you're ready,
can I just say, John Hamer's book, JFK, Very British Coup. I'm not even halfway through it, and it's like the most informative book I've ever read since Falsification of History and Falsification of Science. So, well done, John.
Behind the Curtain as well. Very, very good.
I haven't read that one yet. That's on my list.
Well,
I've got a list.
when I finish mine, I can put it on to. I'm a very, very, very slow reader.
Everybody's league. It's as simple as that. It's as simple.
Yeah. It's fantastic, and
Yes.
all these things are, when you look into it, it really is interesting.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Well, the amount of lies and deception of that, and like what I was talking about last week, we're going to hopefully expand on that, and look into Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi,
Right.
and his brother, who was a cloakroom attendant, Mahatma Coat. So that's. Sorry. And his brother-in-law Goosey. I reckon there's Indians watching this now. I'm switching this bloody thing off. Whatever it is, taking a piss.
Oh dear. You've got to have a laugh.
Did you ever see Lovey Deary's film, Gandhi?
No.
Lovey Deary, Dickie Attenborough. It's a film in, I think it's the 80s he made it. It was Gandhi. It was on television, I think.
Oh, I vaguely remember.
Was he in Four Lions?
Nobody get happens, bro.
Nobody get happens, brother Omar.
Brilliant film.
There's that funeral scene. I've never forgotten it. It struck me funny. There's a Lovey Deary saying, "Okay, right, are you ready for action? Action!" And suddenly a diddly-diddly-dumpty-dumpty-dum. The main concourse when they're about to film this scene of Gandhi's funeral, and there's all these Indians going, "Oh, I'm having an ice cream." The didn't know the reason they was there, and they're shouting out, "Look miserable!" And all going, "Ah."
God. Can I just answer a question?
Yeah.
Galaxian wants to know, what's your channel called, Deb? It's Codes of the Unknown. If you look up
the Unknown, I'll remember.
Codes of the Unknown, if you look it up on YouTube, it covers everything. We cover everything. And this week's we're not doing one this week, this Friday.
Aren't you? So it's
Am I
Codes
the
of the
only
Unknown.
person that's been banned from YouTube and has never made a video?
We've never been banned from YouTube yet.
I have 5 times just for the comment section.
Oh God!
Well, I got a bit close tonight, didn't I?
Yeah, you did a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So if this program does not get booted off within the next, because unfortunately I can't record it immediately, and if you don't see this on BitChute, well, you won't know, will you? But I've got BitChute.
If you're not watching this, you won't know.
Because my next ban, I'll be off for 90 days, so they say, and possibly lifetime bans. I won't be able. But it shows I'm doing something good. See. So anyway, if you look below, and I'm not talking about Dave's crutch. I'm talking about looking below this video. You'll be you see the BitChute channel. You'll see the link to that heater thing that Dave showed earlier. And you'll also see John Hamer's BitChute channel, because he's got one as well. And actually, Deb, I'll put your channel on.
Thank you.
We keep go to you. It's not on there at the moment because I'm an ignorant sod and I forgot all about it.
Don't worry about it.
Just for one final thing to add, I've
Yeah.
actually put a comment on. I'm David Jacobs. I've put a comment on the Tpipe stove video, and I urge everybody to read that comment because it points out the dangers of the zinc and the galvanized steel pipe, and it's very important that people don't forget that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And remember, if you don't see this video, if I am banned, please go to fockhamhallradio.com and also go to BitChute because I'll be carrying on BitChute. I'll be doing the shows on BitChute. Unfortunately, we won't be able to have the chat on BitChute, but apparently, I think it's today or tomorrow, Trump social thing is starting.
Yes.
And I will jump
that's just Donald Trump as far as Warwick Davis can throw Alison Hammond.
I don't like anybody in politics
He's
at
about
all.
as much use as Anne Frank's drum kit, isn't he?
But let's put it this way, any port in a storm.
Yeah, that's true.
As much chance of Donald Trump telling the truth as you ever find in Tony Blair busking in Baghdad.
Oh, dearie me.
You just imagine that, can't you? Hello, would anyone give you rupees? Oh, no, it's not rupees there, it's somewhere else, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're on the plane. What was it in dinars, wasn't it? In there? Anyway, it doesn't matter. And it says
I've got a load of their money and all. I can't remember what it is.
Oh, hang on. We got Sooty43. Chris, can you put the link on the Wood
Wild Food School website as well?
Website? Yeah, certainly. I'll put that on. Anything to oblige. And we got here Smoggy G. Yes, Chris. Woolen greatcoats. This is about the Russian army. Issued on enlistment to Russian soldiers. It rolled in a special way so they could carry them all times. Can you do that with an anorak?
Well, you could give it a go.
It's funny. I don't know whether our American viewers will be understand what an anorak was, because when I was at work, we were talking about anoraks, and there's an American chap that I used to work with. He said, "What's an anorak?" It's someone that wears a special sort of coat that speaks like that. There's all the bits.
And goes train spotting.
Goes train spotting, train numbers. You know.
That's the B452.
I can't read this out, but I'll just put this up.
Yeah, that's all that.
Right.
Sorry, I can't read that out.
Yeah, that's right, John.
All American presidents since JFK have been sellouts to the cabal, and we know who cabal
is.
That's right. You're on our way
already.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
So thank you very much, because I think I better zoom off now before I get back.
Hopefully I'll have that heater up and running next time I'm on.
Super.
That's if I'm not banned.
That's how it is, isn't it? You know.
Well, that's life, isn't it? But don't worry, if I'm not here, I'll be on. or Trump's what's it? You know what they call it? Social whatever.
Yeah.
So there we go. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Yes. And remember, if I'm not banned, it'll be the same time, same place next week. And there'll be a special show next week. So that's, of course, if I'm not banned. And remember, whatever happens, however doom and gloom there is, have a laugh. Good night, everybody. And thank you for everybody in the chat and all the guests. Thank you.